Hi, my name is Ryan Takemiya, and this is a preview of my workshop, Storytelling for Success, where you will learn how to harness the power of storytelling to your advantage in both work and life. In this segment, we'll be talking about the different ways that you can structure a story. But first, I'll start with a story of my own. When I graduated college, I received a scholarship that allowed me to travel internationally for a whole year to pursue an independent study project of my own design. But before this, I hadn't really traveled internationally very much, and I had never traveled solo. So I was very, very nervous. But I packed my bags, and I left home, and I spent an entire year traveling to 6 different countries in East Asia, studying hip-hop culture and youth culture. Along the way, I met a lot of wonderful friends and had amazing experiences. But the more I observed young people participating in the creation of culture over there, I started to ask myself about my own culture and my own community. I turned the lens on myself and wondered, what was I doing to participate in the process of creation of my own culture and my own community? So when I returned to the United States, I had this burning desire to delve into Asian American culture and participate in the creative process. Even though I had traveled all the way to Asia to study youth culture, I came back with a yearning to better understand myself and Asian American culture. Now, if that story resonated with you, it's probably because you recognize its structure. In 1949, mythologist Joseph Campbell traveled around the world and studied global myths and legends. And while the story structures varied widely, there was one structure that kept recurring through oral traditions from around the world. And it goes a little something like this. A protagonist starts out at home, gets called to adventure, then ventures forth into the unknown. While there, he or she encounters friends and mentors, but also obstacles along the way, until finally he or she meets one final obstacle they can't overcome unless they change something about themselves. Once they've overcome that final obstacle, they return home having changed completely. Joseph Campbell called this story structure the hero's journey, and you might recognize it because it's even found its way into Hollywood films like Star Wars, Harry Potter, The Lord of the Rings. These are just a few examples, but there are many, many more. Another common story structure you'll find a lot in literature, film, and television is called the 3-act structure. In the 3-act structure, a story is broken into thirds. The first act sets the scene and introduces the characters. The second act features an instigating event that forces the characters into action. The action then builds and builds until it reaches a climax. In the third act, the action continues, but it decreases until there is a final resolution. Now, these are just 2 types of story structures. There are many, many more. And any story can be a good story, as long as you have a strong, clear message, you keep the story simple, but your characters complex. You take your listeners on a journey by leaving a trail of breadcrumbs and not giving the whole thing away. You draw from personal experience. You embrace conflict. Be authentic. And of course, have a few aha moments here and there. Above all, a good story should have real emotions. In the next segment, we'll do an exercise that'll help you get in touch with those emotions.